Well, first and foremost, thank you all for coming here today. In light of the recent tragic events in Chicago and Portland, and I guess maybe most notably Minneapolis, I think it is becoming increasingly clear to all of us that there is as much danger from Homeland Security enforcement operations as there is safety. And I am deeply concerned, as I'm sure many of us are, for the safety of our local residents when, and I believe it is only a matter of when, those intensified enforcement operations move to the Quad Cities. So I have convened the first step in a community preparedness conversation about how we can minimize the threat of violence and possible tragedy in this community. And toward that effort, I've secured a speaker who knows a great deal about this. Some of you will remember that Chicago alderperson Jessie Fuentes made national news herself when she was manhandled, handcuffed, and forcibly ejected from a Chicago hospital for asserting the legal rights of one of her constituents who was hospitalized and en route to the operating theater. She'll come and tell us what we need to know, again, that would minimize the threat of harm. The last thing we want is any sort of escalating violence here. And I think the responsibility for minimizing that threat is going to be with us. The Customs and Border Patrol agents, the ICE agents have not demonstrated their prudence in operating in these communities. And again, I want to ensure or help ensure the safety of the people of the Quad Cities. For that reason, I've introduced two bills in the upcoming legislative session that starts on Monday. One that would ban the use of masks. Masks are for criminals and trick-or-treaters, and they ought not to be used by law enforcement in the performance of their routine duties. I've also introduced a bill that would ban the apprehension and detention of individuals in the courthouse, in churches, and in schools. We need to make these operations less volatile. Candidate Trump told us that he was going to deport the worst of the worst. They would be murderers, they would be rapists, they would be child predators. Instead, we find ourselves grieving for a 37-year-old mother who was no threat to anyone. And again, it would be prudent of us to prepare now rather than wait for a situation that goes out of control and results in a tragedy. Are there questions?
If people want to come to your session, what could they expect to learn?
Well, again, I hope they would learn how to respond to an enforcement agent approaching them and questioning them what to do and what not to do that would de-escalate a situation. Americans are a freedom-loving bunch. We do not want to be stopped and questioned for no apparent reason, and we could, without preparation and without consideration, react poorly to that situation. I want to make sure that we develop a consciousness that will help all of us leave those situations safely.
What is your message to people that they want to protest peacefully, but they are fearful of possibly, what happened to this woman up in Minneapolis, fear of getting hurt or even possibly killed?
Well, I understand that all facts are not yet known, and I fear we may never know all the facts. But Renee Nicole Good was not protesting. She was a legal observer who was on the scene doing a job that was important to her. And I am not aware of any reason why she should be shot for exercising her rights as an American citizen.
Would you say this is more for people who want to come and protest, or people, who might be interacting with ICE agents, or is this for people who might be the subject of, enforcement actions?
Well, all are welcome. And for whatever reasons they may choose to be here. But it is my intention that we come and again develop a community consciousness about how we can react to avoid the situations that have occurred in Portland, the horrible assault on the apartment building in Chicago, and of course the fatal shooting in Minneapolis. But people will come and say what they want to say. I'm not sure that I mentioned the date, which is Saturday, January 24th at the St. Anthony Roman Catholic Church Parish Hall, located on at the intersection of 6th Street and Main Street. And I hope people will come and participate in what I hope will be an ongoing community conversation.
Is this because you have heard anything about them possibly coming to this area, or is this just kind of in preparation?
Exactly. No, I have no advanced knowledge, but I believe that it is a matter of time before federal agencies look at this community and move their operations here when they have finished with other communities. The facts would suggest that these enforcement efforts have been targeting largely Democratic communities. I think Davenport, for example, would be a community that may well come up on their radar as a target.
Is this, you represent this side of the river on the Iowa side, but is this open to folks from the other side of the river in Illinois, which is definitely a blue state based on where most voting history has gone? Right.
Of course, all are welcome. Our neighbors in Illinois, as well as anyone in the Iowa Quad Cities, all are welcome to come and share their thoughts.
What do you hope happens after this? You said, you hope this is part of a continued community conversation. So what do you hope happens, moving forward?
Well, again, the outcome that I seek from this happening is to develop a community consciousness of nonviolent calm that allows us to prepare, be ready, and we react best when we prepare. And I want this to be the beginning of a preparation.